Well, welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's up?
We did shopping today for the rest of this week in regards to Boozathon.
Boozathon.
Because we got to discuss some stuff with some people that know probably a lot more than we do, but that's okay. So I'm excited for that. We swung by Elma Wine and Liquor, picked up a bottle of Four Roses and Larceny. With our friend Tim over at Elma Wine and Liquor. Shout out to them. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. Hashtag not a sponsor, but they have a wonderful selection of wine, liqueurs, whiskey, scotch, and they range in all different prices, and they have a great selection of local as well. So if you are in the market for local whiskeys, swing by, check out Tim at Elma Wine and Liquor, and pick up a bottle.
Yeah. So like Mike was saying, we got the Four Roses single barrel. We might as well talk about it right now and make this the Wednesday clip.
Yeah.
So we got the Four Roses single barrel, and we have the Larceny wheated. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be having this bourbon talk with Hartman like we talked about last week. And it is primarily around mash bill analysis and understanding what constitutes a mash bill, I'm assuming, and what goes in a mash bill, what a mash bill even means for some of you people that don't necessarily understand what a mash bill is. And also we're going to be talking about the differences between a bourbon and a wheated bourbon. So we got two different here. The Four Roses single is just a Kentucky straight bourbon, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the Larceny is a wheated bourbon mash bill. So two different types of bourbon here for us to talk about. And it's going to be a fun time for us to discuss. And it's going to be obviously hosted by Justin Hartman from Hartman's Distilling. So if you have any interest in doing that, we created a Facebook event for everybody to...
Journey's just going off upstairs. Cleo's running around.
Journey and Cleo are just going crazy.
It's fine.
We're going to be talking about these two whiskeys, the differences between the two. Justin Hartman, like I said, is going to be hosting it. And we're going to be there for moral support and to add whatever color we can.
Which I'm excited for, because if we're good at one thing, it's adding color.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm stoked for that.
Should be a great time.
Absolutely.
So tune in, go to our Facebook. We created an event for this, and we will be posting the meeting link on there once we have it, which should be coming out relatively soon. So it's this Saturday, April 18th at noon. So if you can make it, that's great. He does them every month, one Saturday a month. He normally does it in his distillery, but obviously since we're all quarantined here, we're going to be doing it virtually. So this Saturday, April 18th at noon, come join us. It'll be a lot of fun.
Stoked.
Nailed it.
So I have a question for you.
For me?
Yes.
I have an answer.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Recently, you dove in to a market in Buffalo that is slowly growing, and it allows you to work on something year-round, and I think that we should let our listeners and fans know what is new in not only your world, but this also is going to include me primarily from Forrest. I wouldn't really say it's too much of a choice, but I think that it's just something I'm going to be forced into with you, so I'm excited. But you recently bought what?
A golf simulator.
A golf simulator.
Is that what you're... Okay, so
yeah.
When you first asked this question, I was like, where is this going?
No.
What undeveloped area around here are you talking about?
Yeah, you recently just bought some land. Like, I'm gonna go mill it.
I just bought my own golf course.
Yeah. It used to be a links, and it was deserted.
Links, yeah.
So, the golf simulator, how many courses are on this thing?
There is 15 world-class courses. So there's this video game out there called the Golf Club. That's what it's called, the Golf Club. And this uses that same platform for you to play off of. So basically, it's a cheap golf simulator. It's not something expensive. It's not a $20,000 unit.
Right, because
it's $19,999. Yeah. It was only a couple $100. And basically what it is, it attaches to your club. And there's a sensor in that is Bluetooth sensor that'll connect to your computer with a device installed. And it basically measures your, like, all the aspects of a golf swing. So like your shaft lean,
Right.
how much you're tilting your hands to see if it's going to be like a draw, fade, shank, or whatever it may be.
So when I swing, it's just going to come up with
Yeah.
ease everywhere for error.
It's going to be like, all right, get your dog out of the garage and let's play. But so it'll measure all that as well as swing speed and like shaft flex. I'm assuming. I don't really know yet. I just got it today. And yeah, so you can just play and hit into a net, and a net, not a net, a woman, because that wouldn't be very good. But you hit into a net, and then from there it'll analyze your swing and it'll project it on one of the courses that you select that you want to play. So if I want to go play Pebble Beach or something, I'll throw up Pebble Beach and it'll say you have X amount of yards to the hole, like you're playing a real course. You bring out your driver, you hit it, and then you bring out your driver again because you shanked the first one, and now you got to do another one. So yeah, it's just gonna be fun.
And it's a 550-yard par 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh god,
Right.
not gonna be able to do this.
Not at all.
But yeah, so it's cool. I also bought a net and a golf mat to hit off of. So I'm just all set, man. I'm getting sick and tired of staying inside and not being able to do anything.
Right.
I mowed my lawn, which was a huge accomplishment.
Same.
So nice. It was
Same.
so nice to finally mow that lawn. Cheers. But so it was cool to get out there and relax a little bit. But outside of that, I haven't left the house. Can't go to the driving range. New York just determined that golf courses are not essential anymore,
Right.
which I don't understand, but whatever. I get it. So now I can just golf from my garage, which is going to be cool.
You just said, I don't understand, but whatever, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it, whatever.
Outstanding.
I don't understand, but I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I don't understand E equals MC squared, but I get gravity.
But you get it. Yeah, you get it. Exactly.
So that was my first question.
But you're going to play, and then we're going to record you playing.
Yeah. So it's essentially going to lead to more content for everybody because in our first 3 ever episodes, we discussed golf. We've trickled it in a couple conversations, but we're starting to flirt with the idea of the Buffalo Happy Hour golf channel,
Oh, yeah.
where you just watch someone who's decent and the complete average Joe who ruins the bell curve of what good is. The individual with a handicap of 305. So I'm excited. Very excited for this channel.
The thing with this simulator, though, is it only comes with one clip. So if you're going to hit your driver first, you screw this clip onto your club. And then if you want to hit a 7-iron, you got to unscrew the clip and move it to your 7-iron. Mm-hmm. They sell extra clips, which I'm flirting at buying, but they're $30 for 3 clips. It's like, all right, relax a little bit. I don't make money. I just had to buy a friggin' water heater. I'm not making money.
Did you really?
Dude, so pissed.
The zone in my boiler went.
Really?
Yeah, so that was super exciting. I woke up one morning and my house is 57 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
So,
That's fun.
which if you don't know what that means, your zone is essentially the part of your boiler that talks with your thermostat and your boiler. So your thermostat would call for heat. It'll trickle down the electrical wires, hit your zone, and then your zone will tell your boiler to fire up because that specific zone called for heat. That specific zone being the first floor of my house. I have a ranch, so I have 2 zones.
Oh,
Yeah, so I have 2 zones. I have a basement and the first floor. My first floor zone crapped out. So what we did was bypass the zone, basically jumped it. So now we have the thermostat controlling the boiler direct. Easy fix, but it was a lot of troubleshooting to figure out that actually was the issue because it could have been a bad stat. It could have been the boiler itself because it's up there in age, which if that was the case, it was $5,000 to fix a boiler. Not a good day, but I got lucky. So what'd you do? You just found out that you had no hot water?
so my tenant called me on Easter Sunday and said, "Hey, man, the water tank is leaking, so I don't have any hot water, and I don't have like any water pressure either." So I'm like, sweet, because the first thing that I want to do is call a plumber on Easter Sunday and be like, "Listen, I don't know what you guys got going on. Put down the ham and get to my house." You know, it just wasn't an ideal situation. But I called the plumber. He went today, had to get a whole new water tank, replace all the piping, because he said the tank was first installed in 1988. Dude, that hot water tank is older than I am. That's crazy. They're supposed to only last like 15 years. This thing's in for 32 years.
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to at all.
Right.
I'm not going to make it to 32, but my hot water tank did. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
So I just had to get this replaced. So $1,500 later, we're here.
Go Bills.
Fun times, man. Go Bills.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
It's crazy. So I'm selling a golf simulator if anyone wants one.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make a quick 20 grand. So my next question. Have you seen an episode of Forensic Files yet?
I have not.
Come on, stop being a landlord.
Dude, it's not like I'm stuck inside my house all the time. I had stuff to do, Mike.
All right.
No, I haven't, and I should.
That's your next step. All right, so my third question.
I thought there was only one question. Now we're at 3.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Pet Peeve Sunday. Like, we'll discuss one pet peeve, it leads to 12, then we're just flipping tables.
Oh, yeah.
So, third question. What is your life like now that you've caught up in Ozark?
Terrible.
Yeah, I do nothing but stare at my window, and wait for season 4. That's literally my life now. And it's raining, so it's even more status quo. I'm just so pathetic.
So if you want to know how Mike's life has been going, 2 weeks ago we discussed him never watching one episode of Ozark. And today he just told me that he's done with all 3 seasons.
There's 10, just so that everyone understands. One season of Ozark is 10 episodes. Each episode is 1 hour long. And there's a lot that goes into that hour. Emotionally, mentally, because there's so many different aspects of the storyline that you actually have to catch up and like know what's going on. You have to be aware of your situation. You can't just float through it. It's not like an episode of Family Guy.
Right.
So the show was extremely captivating. By far one of the best shows I've seen since Prison Break and White Collar. Yes. And I'm very upset that the only information we have is season 4, potentially fall 2021. I'm not okay with that.
It's going to be even longer than that, too. They're not recording right now. They can't record.
Oh, yeah, they can't see each other.
Yeah. So it's going to be even longer. Dude, it's probably not going to come until spring 2022.
Thank God they do that
I'm not
recap.
okay with this.
I know. But thank God they do that recap. Because that's huge. The beginning of every season, you got to watch the recap.
Yeah. It's tough. It took them a year and a half to make this 3rd season. So, and that was without a quarantine. So it's going to be probably 2022. It's tough, man. It's tough getting invested into a show and having to wait. I mean, we talked about this, but Game of Thrones, how long did it take them to make that last season? Like almost 2 years, right? Over 2 years?
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean, you get so invested into these shows and then you binge watch them like crazy. Like, I know a couple people that are trying to watch Ozark 1 episode a week to make it last.
I can't, no.
No. They don't put it all out on Netflix for you to watch it like a normal TV show. Come on.
Seriously. Plus, it helps the ratings when you binge watch.
Yeah.
So.
Do you, did we talk about this? Have you seen The Sinner?
The Sinner?
Yeah.
No.
It's with Jessica Biel. Highly recommend it. Jessica Biel's one of my women crushes. But, it's an amazing series, and they just came out with the 3rd season on it's on USA, so it's on USA first, and then it goes on to Hulu after. And the lead guy in season 3 is Matt Bomer from White Collar. So you got to watch it now.
Why do you do this?
Next week I'll expect a whole 3-season recap from you,
dude.
It's very, very captivating too.
The thing that
one
sucks.
of my favorite shows.
Yeah, but the thing that sucks about Hulu is that they have those friggin' ads, even if you pay for it.
I did not know that.
So, which we do, and then you still sit there and you still got to go through that stupid ad
you pay
portion.
For Hulu Prime or Hulu Live, or just regular Hulu.
I don't know. Maybe we don't.
5 or 15 a month.
That's Colleen's wheelhouse. I pay the mortgage. You know, I change the oil in my truck. That's where I'm at. Speaking of which, that was a pretty stressful event, trying to figure out if you can perform an oil change on your truck. Not me personally as an individual, like I could, but at the same time, if I do it myself, I don't know how to go into everything's a computer. Mm-hmm. So I can't go into my dash and change the setting to change my oil level to 100%. Plus, I like to get the sticker, let me know where I'm at for mileage because I don't want to track it on my phone. So because everything's shut down, I'm like, well, I drive for work and I use my own truck, right? So I have to get an oil change, and I don't want to just drive my truck into the ground, even if I'm using synthetic oil, like it's been 5,000 miles. I need to get my oil changed. Yeah. So I called, and and found a spot that is still open, but it's basically you show up, you drop off your truck, and they call you when it's done. Like, you don't sit there and wait. So now I'm basically going to go slightly over, probably, I don't know, 200-300 miles over, and then
You'll be fine.
I know it just bothers me because I'm very, very anal, very
No.
OCD when it comes to my vehicles.
Really?
But yeah. So should we talk about what we're drinking today too?
Yeah, man.
All right. So we're crushing Alberta Rye.
Yeah, this bottle was full when Mike got here.
Yeah. Then we started talking about Ozark. Things got crazy.
No, so this bottle of Alberta Rye I've actually had for quite a while now.
Yeah, I'm
It's
surprised you've had it for
probably-
this long.
Yeah, it's probably on like 4 years. So it's been a while. It's interesting because I don't know how much research you did, Mike, but I did do some as well. Alberta Rye is obviously a distillery located in Alberta in Calgary, Canada. And this particular bottle here, their dark batch, is 45% alcohol, which is 90 proof. So it's very high proof for a whiskey, but it is very, very, very sweet.
It is sweet. It's got like a whole heartiness to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they do it very interesting with this rye bill here. And if you want to know more about mash bills, tune into the Hartman's Whiskey Talk on this Saturday. We're going to be drinking these bad boys. It's going to be a great time. So anyway, the mash bill of this, they actually broke it down not necessarily by the ingredients within the mash bill, but what portion of whiskey makes up this particular drink. So right here, this is 91% rye whiskey. So they didn't get into the intricacies of what that rye whiskey mash bill is, but 91% rye whiskey, 8% bourbon. So they blended it with Old Grandad Kentucky bourbon, which is crazy. They put American bourbon in their Canadian rye whiskey. And then they actually put 1% of sherry in there. Mm-hmm. And this sherry was Oloroso sherry from Spain. So they put all this into one. They didn't. So there's a common way of making whiskey, not bourbon, because bourbon has to be made in new char oak barrels. But when you get into whiskeys and the different layers and types of whiskey we're talking about, you can really age whiskeys in barrels whatever you want, really. It's the bourbon that has that strict contingency on it. But for whiskey in general, you can age your whiskey in a sherry barrel. They didn't do that. They actually added straight sherry to their whiskey.
That's wild.
It's crazy. I don't know if that's ever been done. I don't know if that's been done before.
Well, on their website, they're pretty snarky. It's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
they talk about how long it takes to make their product, and they hate it. But it, like, the color of it is it's not. There's a lot that I'm trying to say, but I can't get it out fast enough.
I don't know if you can see it, but
So the color of their whiskey is very, very dark, wholesome, bold. Like, and then when you drink it, it kind of encapsulates Canada in a fluid. Like, you feel like you can survive a tough winter when you sip this, and it's just very hearty. It's a really, really good product. But yeah, the only thing that I really got is they're the number one rye producer in North America, which I found very interesting. They opened in 1946, and they have more than 450,000 barrels aging on site,
right.
which is extraordinary. I mean, that's a ton of product.
They killed it in 2015 too. They listed their awards that they got on their website. In 2015, they got a gold at the LA International Spirits Competition, a gold at the SIP Awards, a gold at the Craft Competition of 2015, a gold at the International Whiskey Competition. They won the best Canadian rye, and they got a double gold at the San Francisco World Competition. It was all in 2015, so they just put it all out there.
Yeah.
They probably haven't made a batch since it takes too long to make.
I know.
But yeah, it's very interesting, and if you haven't had a rye from Canada, you gotta try this.
Yeah.
Because this is very, very good. Mm-hmm. It's different though, because you can taste the sweetness and like I don't know, it kind of like has a currant taste to it, like a black currant or like a dark fruit type taste.
Sure.
It's so good. It very dynamic.
Yeah. I'm all about this.
Yeah, this is good.
I'm excited to rate it.
Oh, we'll get there, my friend. You stay tuned.
No one leave.
Yeah, no
We're forcing you to sit here and listen to
Please
us.
stay. We need the subs.
I cannot wait until the Rona passes, because the amount of things that we have waiting, it's pretty stacked, and it covers a lot of different bases.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for it.
You've been drinking some pretty crazy stuff lately, huh? Whiskey-wise.
Yeah.
What have you been drinking? Tell the folks what you've been tasting.
I've been trying some crazy cocktails. We have the Cask and Crew Ginger Spice at my house. We got One Foot Cock at my house. There's Woodford Reserve open as well. And I've just been kind of making some cocktails and crushing it neat. Then I also threw in some seltzers for the boys just to switch it up a little bit.
Keep that figure down.
Yeah, but the interesting thing you noted was cutting the grass. I also did that. I hit the trimmer, right? Worked on my edging, cut the grass. First cut of the year. I thought about it for about 15 minutes while I was prepping my lawnmower, making sure it was good for the season, sharpening the blades naturally by hand.
Nailed it.
But the first cut, I went diagonal left, so I'm excited because now I get to
Starting
switch
the
it
season
up.
off strong.
Yeah.
Diagonal left.
Oh yeah, it's a flex, bro.
That's a professional move.
Yeah, it's a flex. I weed whacked around the whole house, did all the edges first, and then just crushed it. So it worked out well.
Do you write down what direction you've cut on the calendar?
Bro, it's graphed out. I also was thinking about buying Nike Monarchs, my first pair this year.
Really?
Yeah,
Just get full dad mode?
yeah,
Nice.
but I might wait. I might wait until Colleen's pregnant, then I'll buy my first pair.
There you go.
Because then it's true,
That is true, yeah.
you know. But
Then you've hit your apex.
yeah,
And you know that it's just going to keep going up from there.
that's it.
That's how apexes work, right?
I think so. But yeah, so
Have you been doing Zoom meetings? That's one of the things now is that family members are getting together and doing Zoom meetings together.
I
have.
did one on Easter. I'm so used to Zoom because I do it at work that it's not like anything new and exciting for me. It's just like another thing that I have to attend. So the crazy thing that I did on Easter was I combed my bangs down. I brushed my hair
take that
straight.
head off.
No,
Let this
no,
flow.
no.
Let
No.
it flow.
I'm
man.
not
the
doing
long
it.
blonde locks. Let's go.
It is repulsively disgusting how long my hair is. I'm not doing it. Dude, I wore my head at work today. That's how
Did you
bad it
really?
is. Yeah. And I looked right at my boss and I was like, this isn't coming off till I get a haircut.
I remember when we started this, you said, like, people will never see you in a hat. And now, I don't think I've seen you without a hat in a while. Like, last week you didn't have a hat on. But other than that, you've been I think you like hats now.
I like this one hat. This one hat. I'm still waiting on Clemson to sponsor either this podcast or me as an individual.
Or me, isn't it?
Because I would never not be an orange.
Yeah.
Or white or purple. But I'm all in. That's not a pun. It's just a really good plug. Hashtag not a sponsor, Clemson football.
What do you got on under that jacket there, friend? Well, why do you have a jacket on? It's not even that cold here.
Are you serious? Your house is like 14 degrees because you
It's
turned the
not,
heat
it's
off.
68.
I'm freezing.
It's 68 right now.
Every time I walk in this home, I shiver. Feel like I'm on the set of Balto. We're just a standard Nike polo under this shirt. Golf polo. I might add.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I got this Black Ops Fitness hat on. Love it.
What's that all about?
So
Hashtag not a sponsor.
yeah, Tom, who is my cousin who designed our logo, he also worked with this company, this gym out in Delaware called Black Ops Fitness. It's sick. From what I've seen on like their Instagram and Facebook, we follow them on Instagram just so you know. They're sweet gym, do some amazing personal training stuff, and it just looks like a sweet environment that really embraces the just do it type mentality. You know?
Oh, gotcha.
Like they started in a garage and then worked their way to storage units, and then now they own this building, which is pretty sweet. I mean, it's just like they, from what I've seen at least, they embody the whole just grind until you make it type mentality, which is sweet. Which goes with the whole Black Ops portion. I mean, you would know that better than I would, but
Oh, well, let's tone it down. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily know about covert black operations that occurred
but again,
in our
you know
history.
better than I would.
But yeah, but I know some
I
things.
saw Black Ops and I'm like, that's Call of Duty, right?
Jesus. I mean, I'm not going to say I bought a Neomag today, but I bought a Neomag today.
Yeah, really. What's that
So-
about?
Just practicality, Broham. Always be ready. Always stay prepared.
I used to work with a guy.
What?
I used to work with a kid at Tops. Oh my god, this is so funny. So, when I used to work at Tops, like 10 years ago or whatever, this kid came in, very sweet kid, but he was very into martial arts
Okay.
and protecting himself, which was great. I mean, everybody should understand how to protect themselves. I took personal training classes. I'm sure you've taken personal training classes or just on how to defend yourself, especially with the Army. But he took it to a whole new level.
I love
So,
people like this.
Yeah. He was telling us that he often carries around knives with him, just in
Okay.
case if it happens.
Yeah.
My first question was, knives. You said plural. How many do you have? And he goes, 5 on me at all times. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean 5 on you at all times? He's like, yeah, I got 1 in each pocket, just in case. And then I have 1 taped to the inside of my leg. Like, come on, dude. Taped to the inside of your leg? For what? When in the world, unless you're running through the woods naked, are you ever going to be able to access that in a fight?
Dwight Schrute would have an answer to that
Dude,
question.
when he told me that, I was blown away.
Did you laugh at him?
No.
Okay.
Because he would have pulled that knife from his leg and stabbed you with it. No, I'm not going to laugh at him.
There's people that I know that carry an excess amount of certain things, but most people that I know, the max that they'll carry is like 4 tourniquets. They want 1 per limb. That it's viable.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? But like 5 knives is that's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna walk around every day of your life with a VS-17 panel, it's a little obnoxious. Like when are you gonna flag a helicopter down with a bright orange panel standing in the middle of the road where the chopper can't land anyways? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
But, like, I would even be okay with 2, like, 1 in the front pocket and 1 in your shoe, because I feel like that's a thing. But to tape 1 on the inside, like, I would cut myself multiple times if I had a knife taped to the inside of my leg. I mean, again, I'm not going to make fun of the kid because clearly he knows what he's doing. But I don't get it.
What's your everyday carry?
What's my everyday carry?
Yeah.
I just have a pocket knife.
So a pocket knife, wallet, phone, keys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Solid.
Yeah. Why? What's yours?
I have a 6-hour P365 with
We're getting demonetized.
yeah.
You don't mention guns on here.
with 1 mag, and then I carry a spare mag, and then typically I carry a pocket knife, wallet, cell phone, keys, and then I have a tourniquet in my truck and a compass in
really?
my truck. Yeah. I'm always driving for work, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's true.
So I always keep a tourniquet. It's just good practice, anyways.
I think I have 2 like extremely old EpiPens in my car.
Really?
idea why.
Do you have a first aid kit in your car?
I have 2 extremely old EpiPens in my car.
Yeah, but do you have like a first aid kit?
I have 2 EpiPens in my car.
Okay, perfect. Oh my god. Yo, did you
I
ever?
don't have a first aid kit. What? I got a box of Band-Aids. Not in my car. I don't carry first aid kits with me.
Really?
Yeah.
What
You?
about jumper cables?
Yeah, I got jumper cables.
Yeah, I have a first aid kit, jumper cables. I have a snow brush and a shovel.
I put that. My mom used to create me like a care package every Christmas. Me and my sister would get a care package. So it was a tote, and inside the tote had a blanket, a flashlight, a small ice scraper, hand warmers, and like granola bars or something that we just kept in our trunk just in case if we got stuck, we could keep ourselves warm. You know, the
Right.
whole 9 yards. Don't use it now.
No
She stopped
kidding.
getting it for me, and I just don't use it. Like I have jumper cables in there, and I have a snow brush sometimes when I remember to put it in. But other than that, I mean, I just put on the 4-wheel drive and just gun it, man.
No kidding. Some serious mayhem's going on
No
upstairs.
idea what just dropped. That didn't sound good.
I also keep a plug-in cigarette lighter operated friggin' compressor for tires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually got a cigarette lighter outlet extension, so you can plug it in, and then you actually got like a 12-volt outlet.
Oh, nice.
That I should probably keep in my car, but right now it's in my garage doing good use.
Unbelievable. Dude, there's so many good gizmos that people don't even
know.
realize that they should have in
know,
their car at
bro.
all times.
Yeah.
But my dad was kind of like that too, just real old school. He was like, you gotta have a pair rawhide leather gloves in your car, moving blankets, snow brush, shovel. But it's crazy because I actually took him up on it, and then when we were at the college that won't be named, I actually did get stuck in their parking lot one day after class because there was a blizzard, and I was there 8 to 5, like, you know, when we used to grind back in the day. And I actually used that shovel to get out. And then everyone's like, how do you have a shovel in your car? I was like, because your dad's not absolutely batshit crazy like mine is.
I had a shovel too, one of those collapsible ones, kind of like your food spork thing that you got going on.
Like an e-tool?
Yeah. So it just collapses, and I was able to get myself unstuck one time too. Back when I had only front-wheel drive cars. What were we thinking?
Yeah, we were probably too poor to afford all-wheel drive.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you ever carry like cat litter? Because isn't that supposed to really get you out of cat litter or something that you just pour on
Like
the ground?
sand, so your tires
sure,
get traction?
sure,
Yeah.
Did
No.
you ever carry that?
No.
Do you throw sandbags in the back of your truck? No.
Yeah, 100%, because there's no weight in the bed. So I throw like 300 to 400 pounds worth of sand. I just buy tube sand from Home Depot. Hashtag not a sponsor. If you want to, that would be wondrous.
I got some stuff I need to
By the way.
I got some stuff. I still don't have... I made it through this whole winter without a snowblower. Nailed it.
Yeah,
You
that's...
and I first started talking back in October when we started this podcast about how the guy wanted $800 to fix my snowblower. You could buy a new snowblower for $800. That was not happening. Bringing it full circle. Still don't have a snowblower. We survived.
Yep. Global warming.
Global warming's fine. It's friggin' pouring. I'm surprised my basement isn't flooded right now.
I know.
So that's
Using the
sweet.
shop vac mid-episode.
Yeah. Hold on. Just trying to clean up that room behind you.
God.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we're
man.
trying to work it out.
Do you have any plans? How was your Easter? We didn't even talk about that. What did you guys end up doing?
Nothing.
No.
I made a pack of bacon. And by mean a pack of bacon, I'm saying I made an entire package of bacon.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
So here's what happened. A friend of mine gave me some whiskey samples in red Solo cups on Saturday. So I tried...
Well, yeah, what was those samples? That's what I was originally getting at when I first brought this up, Mike.
Oh, were you really? I not even mentally there because of what happened.
I thought that maybe you didn't think that you wanted to talk about it for some reason.
It's just like really, really good whiskeys.
Yeah.
But anyways, he gave me a sample.
Sample.
First one of
Those
this
are my favorite
week.
type of samples.
Yeah. Stag Junior 128, Stag Junior 132. Those are the proofs. A
Which is a very, very hot whiskey.
Weller 12, and then CYPP.
Mm-hmm.
And each red Solo cup was about a 5-ounce pour of each sample.
Nice.
I was gone.
Do you remember calling me?
Was it obvious?
You were, yeah. Dude.
I kind of remember.
Yeah, you were hammered.
Yeah, hammered. Dude, I went to bed at 2 o'clock and woke up at 6. I took a 4-hour nap in the middle of the day. I was hammered. Colleen woke me up. She goes, "It's 6 o'clock. Do you want to eat dinner?" And I'm like, "What day is it?" I was hammered.
Yeah, you called me and you're like, "Derek, man, I just want to let you know. I really love that we do this podcast, man. I just really want to let you know that this is amazing." I was
See?
like, "Oh, that's cool. Thanks, man."
Because I care about it. Because I care about it.
And now I'm going to paint my basement. I'm like, all right, you do you, boo-boo.
Yeah,
Did you end up painting it?
the next day.
Oh, okay.
Not that day.
Nailed it.
Yeah, not that day. Hammered. So fell asleep, woke
That's
up,
awesome.
and then the next morning, I'm like, I really want some bacon. Since we don't have any ham, we have nothing to really have an Easter meal with, I'm just gonna make some bacon. So I made an entire pack of bacon.
Did you eat it all?
Yeah.
Nice.
Colleen had like 4 slices.
There you go.
Yeah.
We made like a traditional Easter dinner here for the two of us. We had ham, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, just regular like Hawaiian buns, rolls. What else did we have? We had something else too. But yeah, I mean it was cool. We tried to make the best out of the situation, and then
Right.
we had a Zoom call with my family on Saturday, so we kind of all celebrated and just chilled out there. It's just such a weird time, man.
Yeah.
It's so weird seeing everybody in their respective homes talking to each other over the internet. It's just so strange.
Yeah, it is.
Like, "Hi, Graham, how are you?" "Oh, good. I can't work this computer." I'm like, "Oh, I see ya." It's just like, okay, it's just such a weird concept of everybody just being home alone
Yeah.
and just there'd be no person-to-person interaction outside of the internet. If the internet goes down, right now we have 80 mile-an-hour winds. If for some reason all the cables just destroy and we lose power in cable, that's the end of our civilization. That's it.
Yeah, but on the positive to the Rona,
Yeah, I still got my simulator. You're right. That is a positive.
you still got your simulator. I was able to drink red Solo Cup whiskey samples and get hammered and then wake up and make a ton of bacon.
It's true.
I mean, there's some definite positives. And you're in the safety of your own home.
Right.
I was literally sitting there wearing Ranger panties, eating pirate's booty, drinking fine whiskeys, and then took a 4-hour nap. I mean, that's the most American thing that you can do in a long time. You know? That's true freedom inside your own
It
home.
is true freedom.
I don't know why Colleen's with me. So,
I ask myself that question about Gina every day.
yeah.
All right, man. Do you want to get to rating this whiskey?
No, we got to get to the cocktail section.
That's what I meant. Cocktail section.
All right, drop the beat for the cocktail section.
Cocktails. These cocktail sections have gotten to the point where I just don't know where I'm going to go with it, and I just let it take me. I let the rhythm take my soul and just go with it.
Is it because it's episode 29?
Yeah, and I'm running out of beats to do.
How do you run out of something completely made up?
That's the problem. I'm not that creative.
Well, start looking up different beatboxes and look them up.
It's got to be authentic, man.
All right, be
You got to
authentic.
see the struggle in my eyes.
Okay. My cocktail is called the Rye Squeeze. 1.5 parts Alberta rye, 4 to 5 parts ginger beer. This is the most Canadian recipe that you can find.
A 2 moose.
Yeah.
Could be a deer, though.
2 dashes of Angostura
Morton's.
bitters, 1 pressed orange wedge. You add all ingredients to a low ball glass, fill it with ice, top with ginger beer, and stir.
Nice.
This is already made up for Cocktail Tuesday, and the photo, dude, it looks amazing.
Really?
Yeah. What do you got?
It's in a low ball or high ball glass?
Low.
Nice. All right. Mine is called the Tim Horton. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be sick, though, right? You just mix in a little bourbon with your cream. All right, so this is called the Rye and Chai. You got 2 ounces of rye whiskey, a half ounce of honey, a quarter ounce of lemon juice, 1 drop of vanilla extract, 6 ounces of chai tea, 1 pinch of ground cinnamon, and 1 lemon wedge. This is not going to fit on that chalkboard when I put it off. Just saying.
No kidding.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot there.
Tea?
Yeah.
Chai tea. How do you feel about that?
Looks good.
It's going to wake you up.
A lot of this comes from the website. So when we do Cocktail Tuesday and Cocktail Thursday, if the whiskey that we're having, like the distillery, if they have a website where they put up their cocktails, that's where we're getting a lot of this information from. So if you ever want to try something that we've had, go on their website, take our recommendation, or look at some of their other suggestions that they have. Mm-hmm. This just sounded interesting to me because I don't think we've done a chai before. So I just threw it out there. I don't know if I would like it, to be honest. I'm not a huge tea guy, coffee guy. But, I mean, hey, it looked good. You'll see it on a Cocktail Thursday post
Absolutely.
4 years from now because you and I are so far behind.
Speaking of far behind, I just realized your lead into the interesting drinks that I was having at my house when you first asked that question.
Why?
Because you were asking about the Stag Juniors.
Yes.
Yeah, that just hit my brain. Like, people
Yeah, that
think
is far behind.
people think that I'm like intelligent, or they think I'm literally sitting here playing with you. Like, no, I'm literally just that slow some days of the week. All right, anyways, what's the time check? How are we doing on time? Because
We're like 40 minutes.
I'm a disaster this
Yeah,
week.
it's fine. Dude, we all are. You are the only human interaction I've had outside of Gina since like 4 weeks ago. So we're going to kill each other after this.
You should see me when I'm at work and I see customers. I'm like, hi, how are you? Like,
Are you real?
yeah, like, can't touch you, but how you been?
Yeah, it's
They
crazy.
they just proved that it could travel 13 feet now.
Perfect.
Yeah. So speaking of that,
Did
we
you see
got
that guy with pool noodles taped to his head?
Yes.
Like 6 feet apart.
that was a riot. The
I
content
just love people.
the content coming out because of the Rona is class act.
The internet's going to be on fire, bro. With this
Yeah.
Rona, and now with our next president either being Donald Trump or Joe Biden, we got another 4 to 8 years of this comedy. It's going to be great.
You know,
gonna be cool.
I'm excited. I got our post pod chocolate ready.
Nice.
Also, that's an actual segment for us that's never shown on camera. Maybe it will be. Who knows? Might throw
Post
it
hot
in.
chocolate. There we go. Once we're done reviewing whiskeys in 2046, we can start reviewing chocolates. Just no sponge candy, no bark.
And no orange chocolate.
No orange chocolate.
No, we need to do that next week.
Wait,
Listen,
no, I'm going to take orange chocolate and wrap it in one of your post pod chocolates just to see your face.
I would commit arson. I would literally probably just start burning the bar
Oh
down.
my god. Yeah, Gina came down, Journey came down, and she brought this this glass of chocolates. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, post pod chocolates. Here you go. I'm like, sweet. Those are Reese's too.
Such a future wife.
Has some amazing peanut butter inside.
Yeah, hashtag not a sponsor. If they will be a sponsor, I would not breathe for about 3 days. If Reese steps forward and says, we want to sponsor your podcast,
We got a long way.
That'd be the end of me. I know. We don't even have 120 subs.
Which brings us to this point. If you guys aren't subscribed, there's still about 50% of the viewers that are watching our videos on a daily basis that aren't subscribed.
That literally hurts my feelings.
Right? Like, they don't love us enough just to subscribe. It costs nothing.
It doesn't
nothing. Cost anything.
It doesn't do anything to you either.
Yeah. It's literally you just logging into your Gmail and you just clicking the subscribe button.
Yeah.
You don't pay for anything. It's not like a subscription. They should actually change the verbiage of that, because if you ask somebody to subscribe to something, that generally means that they're paying for it.
You know what? It should be like a fan. It should just be a fan
or a follow.
icon. Yeah.
The Facebook actually has, if you go live, which we might be doing, we don't know yet. We still have to figure it out, if we can do it or not. But if you go live on Facebook, you can send stars, and you basically pay for a number of stars, and you send stars to people that you like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like a top badge.
Yeah, kind of.
Nice.
So yeah, like if you haven't subscribed, I know we talk about this a lot, and there's this graphic here too, but the subscription costs nothing. It's literally just for us to get to a point where people will look at our channel and be like, oh, look, these guys have a couple hundred subscribers. They might be legitimate, and then just start watching.
Right.
So it's just for us,
Yeah.
for the most part. It costs you guys nothing.
Right. But the big picture is that if the strangers find us legitimate, then it gives more recognition and then more business to the local distilleries and other local businesses that we're promoting on the podcast.
Right.
So in all reality, it's only helping Buffalo. But all right, let's
Good way
get
to guilt them into it, Mike.
Yeah, that's it. Just run that guilt train. Let's knock out the rating of this bad boy.
All right.
Label branding. I'm giving it a B plus.
I'd give it a B. To me, this bottle does nothing.
Literally nothing.
Like, if you compare it to... Dude, I love that these shelves are here. It just makes us look so much better. But if you compare this to, like, a Southern Tier, this is, like, Southern Tier's logo, their information, and it just looks, I don't know, nice. That one just has, literally, the date on there. It says the company. I don't think that's their logo. Do they even have a logo? I'm going B.
We're going B. That's what I mean by these guys. Like, they're just super salty about how long it takes to make rye whiskey. That they're just
We're not going to
upset.
spend time on a logo. It took us 40 years to make this whiskey. So yeah, I'm going B with this. Do you still want B plus?
No, B.
Okay.
I agree.
I agree. Now we know why people don't subscribe.
They're probably unsubscribing. Like, these kids are morons.
I mean, it hurts my feelings when people unsubscribe. I saw one person unsubscribe the other day. I'm like, aw.
Were we ever at 119?
No, we were at 118. We should be at 119. But
Oh.
a couple days ago, we were at 118. We dropped down to 117, and now we're back up to 118.
I don't even look. I just want the support from the people.
I get so upset. I look a lot.
Oh my god. Just trying to grow for the boys.
All right, nose.
B plus.
You can pick up, like,
I'm not getting a whole lot.
you're getting a lot of the heat from the proof in here. It's
Yeah.
not a high proof,
Right, but it's
but
enough.
it's a higher whiskey, like rye whiskey proof.
Yeah. I mean, it's still hot.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell that it's still hot because both sides you get that smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like normally, if you rotate it, you can get a different smell, but I don't know. I'm not getting much. Yeah, B plus.
Yeah, B plus. I'm literally not getting almost anything out of it.
Yeah, not the nose at least. The initial taste, you're getting some of that same like heat or burn associated with the heat through the initial taste. You can feel your tongue getting numb. It's the first part of it.
Sure.
But you're also kind of getting like a sweet currant or like blackberry ending. I don't want to say berry because that associates like that type of sweetness. It's not that type of sweetness, but it's like this current like earthy fruit note on the end of it as it's going down. That's what I'm getting.
I don't know what that is, but you get that bit of earth. I just don't know what the hell it is, but you get that bit of earth at the end of the initial taste.
Mm-hmm. And then it goes down and it like it hugs you like in the middle. Yeah, I mean, it's not like this would be a very good cocktail whiskey to me, because if you think about it, it's not a pure rye. You're not getting your typical peppercorn or your typical rye associated flavors to it, even though it's 91% rye. Well, it's 91% rye whiskey, so we don't know how much rye is actually in that whiskey. But you're getting a lot of it from there, and then you're adding an additional 8% bourbon into it. So you're not getting this authentic rye taste to it that you would expect. It's not bad, but to me, this seems like this is a cocktail whiskey for me. And then you get that 1% sherry. I mean, I'm kind of, maybe that's what I'm tasting with the whole blackberry and the black currant stuff, is just that sweetness of the sherry. It's very, very light. Like, you can't, it's not something that's punching you in the face.
Sure.
But you can taste it just as it's going down at the very last second.
This is like an intermediate between Cask and Crew, and which Cask and Crew is 100% for cocktails.
Yeah.
And like introductory level whiskey drinkers. And then you would have this Alberta rye, and then you would have like a 2 times hopped or
even the Cask and Crew double oaked.
Or Cask and Crew double oaked or 3-chord, where it's legitimately supposed to be neat.
Yeah.
And you're trying to drink at room temp, and you're trying to figure out the tasting profile and go through the levels of it. It's not there yet.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that kind of a product. I agree with you that it would be fantastic in a cocktail, similar to like a Woodford.
Mm-hmm.
Woodford is really hot, so when you sip that neat at room temp, you're like, you know, it'll put some hair in your chest. But at the same time, if you put Woodford in an old fashioned, it makes it one hell of an old fashioned. This I feel would do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a really hearty whiskey. It's not. There's no like levels to it.
Yeah. This isn't something that I would come home and drink at the end of the day. And that's why you asked that you're surprised that I still had it. It's because it's not one of those drinks.
What would you give this for initial taste and ending note then?
Initial taste, I enjoy that back half of the initial taste. So I might give that an A. But the ending note, I'm probably going to stick with a B+. Man, I've been slacking, man. The 3-chord's not up there. What did we just do? 3-chord and...
we did the Alder Creek.
Oh, Alder Creek, right. Both those aren't up on the board.
I'll
fill it all out. I'll fill it all out and take a picture and then erase it, because we got to get ready for level 3.
Yeah, we got one. Well, yeah.
No, that's it. 3-chord, Alder Creek, and then this one.
Sure.
So, interesting.
So for initial taste, I'm getting an earth, like an earth, not like tone, but
it's just like it's just like an earthy. I don't know.
Right? Like,
I don't know how to explain it, because it's not like, normally you associate earth with like this oaky or woody type taste, but it's not. It's kind of more of like a, I don't want to say dirt because that sounds bad, but that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Like a wet forest.
It's like an earth grain. Yeah, dude, you're not like wrong. You could do like
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm laughing so hard, because like wet forest, that's what I'm tasting.
Yeah. Like if you just walk in the woods and it's real damp that day, that's pretty much what this is. Like it's the most Canadian thing in the world. Like,
right.
Yeah, like you're walking up on moose. This is like a wet grain. It's literally just like an earthy grain that's just not dry. Like it just doesn't make any freaking sense.
A wet grain, definitely not dry. Wet.
Yeah, I want to call him and just be like, the hell am I supposed to taste? Like I can't figure this out.
We spent 40 years making it.
I know. All right, I'm just going to put earth grain, and then for ending note, I'm going to put, I do get a little bit of butter. There's a slight honey tone to it. That's what I pick up on the ending note, and that's the back end of of the ending note.
Yeah, I can see that.
Um,
Put down like a currant or something in that initial taste too.
A what?
Currant.
Okay.
Do you know what a current is?
I'm just thinking fast-moving water. I'm telling you, bro, I'm mentally shot today.
Just put Whitewater Rapids in.
Whitewater Rapids down in Devil's Hole. You're not getting closer to the border than that, son. Okay. I'm glad I can make you laugh.
Oh my god, dude. We're done.
Final rating.
Oh god. Did we give an initial or an ending rating?
Yeah, we said B+.
Okay. God, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. All right. In all fairness, too, this rye whiskey has been open for 5 years. I'm not sure how much that's changed the taste. Obviously, I don't remember what it tasted like 5 years ago. It didn't leave a huge impact on me, so I'm gonna assume that it's not totally different. But in all fairness, take this with a grain of salt because this is a little bit of an older bottle that we've had. Excuse me. So. Yeah, just for when we do this final rating, because it's not going to be shattering our leaderboards. Just heads up.
Drop that countdown.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
88.
Look at that, dude.
All right, dude, get out of my head.
88, nailed it.
What's the average?
Freaking dropping the bomb on the 78 last week.
It wasn't my favorite, but it was still good.
Yeah, it was still good.
I'm out.
That was good. That was a good time, man. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good one.
So
that was episode 29. Episode 30 is coming up next week. We're 1 week closer to the Rona ending.
Yep.
We have almost no idea what we're going to drink for that standalone episode. Maybe one of these. Who knows? The bourbon talk with Justin Hartman and the Bourbon Boys, as I'm going to call them, the Facebook group that we're a part of, are also going to be on. What's their official name?
Bourbon Enthusiasts, I think?
Bourbon Enthusiasts, yep. So, and then hopefully some of their community is going to be on the Zoom call, which is on April 18th with Justin Hartman at noon. If you're interested in joining that Zoom, the info for the Zoom meeting will be in the Facebook group event that was posted today by yours truly on the other side of the table, Derek Acruso, for Cocktail Tuesday. That is going to be released as well, so make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook because that's where those primarily are. Thanks again, Tim at Elma Wine and Liquor, for giving us these 2 bottles. We appreciate having the stock and then bringing in the larceny because that was clutch. And as always, the environment and experience at Elma Wine and Liquor was standout.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to participate in the Zoom meeting, go out and buy one of these bottles, too, because this is what we're going to be drinking and talking about. So
yeah,
as we go through the tasting notes, we're probably going to be doing like episode 30 and 31 on these two. So if you are unfortunately unable to make the Zoom meeting, you can get our tasting notes from our episode that releases after.
Yeah.
But this is what we're going to be tasting and talking about during the Zoom meeting. So if you want to talk with us and have a sip with us, go buy a bottle and then enjoy.
As always, follow us, like us, subscribe to us, give us reviews, all that fun stuff. Show some love. We're for the boys and the gals. And we will see you next week for episode 30.
30. Big milestone, man.
Boom.
We're out.